Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. First and goal, gotta tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line to beat, right down the street. To have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucs ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB. You know it's routine, we got hard greens. Welcome to Tampa, welcome to Germany. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucs, go Bucs. You know we want the ring. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Tune in with Buccaneer Blade. Bucs back, we can run and toss. Mike Evans looking like Randy Moss. And Jameis making play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucs.
Get this show on the road here. Hey, Daryl, welcome to the show. Alright, let it run. Alright, cool. 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to Bucnblakesports with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. I'm going to give a shout out to all the sponsors, Tampa Bay Care Corps, JFC Panda Lashes, Newtown Recording. You know him, you got to see him here on the show himself. Well, we're going to talk about the Bucs versus Jets today. Bucs win at home versus the Jets. McCown and ASJ and the Jets 15-10 at home in a very ugly game. It came out with some rain at the beginning, but ended up turning out all right. Had a pretty good tailgate after the game as well. Hung out with some old friends, some new friends I had met from New Jersey. It was a pretty interesting day, I have to say. Interesting day in Tampa Bay. No pun intended. Kareem Cuzzo. So let's get to it. Let's start with the stats with the top before we go into other things. Bucs needed to win. It was on a 5-game losing streak. Team was losing confidence from what they say. When you see the locker room, you get a different vibe from them, and it seems like they're still sticking together. I just think we have to do the little things right so other people, so our team doesn't crumble apart from within, and we can start to right the ship and do things what we need to do accordingly. Kareem. Army strong, baby. And do things what we need to do accordingly and get people the ball. Like I said, Deshaun Jackson got a lot of targets, but not much. Kareem, what's going on, man? I said I can bring you on the show a little later if you'd like to. You know how it's veteran appreciation and all that. Lost train of thought. We get to get off the 5-game losing skid, get back on the track, and Deshaun Jackson got a lot of targets, but you're still not getting the ball deep. And I preached it all season long. You're not going to really get that too much until you can establish the run. I know the Bucs tried to continue to run in the game, running the ball, but it's not happening. Doug Martin, 20 carries for 51 yards. 80 yards, 8 yards is his longest run. Sims had the longer one with a 21-yard run. I saw Dirk Cutter or whoever was calling the plays open up those little pulling guards and tackles on those run plays. I think you need to do that more often. Get the backs in open field instead of between the tackles all the time, because those linebackers the linemen weren't getting up to the next level to put blocks on the linebacker, and a lot of those linebackers were sitting in the gaps just waiting for the running backs, licking their choppers. And that's just what it. Oh yeah, we'll get into that, Kareem. Let me see if I can bring you in here later on. I'll send you a invite request, and then you're gonna have to take it. Just stay in here until I get to the end, all right? And then you can go on with your why. I want you when we bring you in. I want you to explain why you joined I want you to explain why you went into the military, and then your take on the Bucs team, and then we'll go from there. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Fitzpatrick, he's saying Fitzpatrick had bad ball placement. And a lot of it's accredited to the offensive line play, which you guys are getting to see. You guys are getting to see the things that Jameis was going through that you didn't want to hear. You think it's just inaccuracy. You can't throw the ball accurate and where you want to throw it when you can't set your feet, when you know you're going to get hit. You have to secure the ball. You're worried about a guy coming from behind you and strip sacking you and taking off and running. See, Fitzpatrick does things a little different. He's more keen to run more often than Winston. Winston wants to get completions. Winston wants to get the receivers the ball down the field. And I can appreciate that because he's a quarterback, and that's what you're kind of supposed to do. Fitzpatrick will run and scramble. There's a couple of those. I wish he would have got the first down on scramble plays, but it comes with the nature of the beast. But that's what it is. Fitzpatrick, we left a lot of points on the field. Yeah, D. Smith is part of that. Yeah. We left a lot of points on the field. Defense got turnovers. Reedy got a great kick return that got tackled by the last man. Would have had his first of the season, probably first of his career as well. Return for a TD, that would have been nice. Donovan Smith I called him Kenyatta Walker during the game. A lot of fans enjoyed that. And he's just taking a lot of holding penalties. He's taking a lot of false starts. It's just a lot of things going on. I think Marpet is not happy with playing center, and I think that switch for putting him to center is kind of hurting us because he's not natural at playing that position. He went from center to guard, from tackle to guard to center, and he was pretty good at guard. We were moving the ball when he was at guard. I don't know what the whole point is. I guess they're trying to see who we're going to keep, and then they switch out Donovan Smith and Kevin Panfield after the half. Kevin Panfield plays guard the first half, and then Evan Dietrich Smith comes in and plays the second half at guard. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but they switch guards. I've never seen that in the NFL that I've noticed, that we rotate offensive linemen. I just thought defensive lineman was a rotational thing. Granted, don't get me wrong, if somebody gets banged up on the O-line, yeah, you come in, let them rest for a player, but no, you actually switch them out in the half. I've never seen anything like that. Can't build continuity like that. I know you want to keep your players happy. Evan Smith's still getting paid a little nice contract from when he was with when we signed him and all that. But yeah, Holly was a decent center, Kareem. He had a little nasty streak to him. If you're an offensive lineman, you need a nasty streak. Much thing why I didn't get too mad at Sue. When you're a defensive lineman, you gotta have some type of attitude with you. Not too controlled chaos is the best word I'll use. Controlled chaos is what you need when you play offensive and defensive line, because there has to be something wrong with you when you want to play in those spots. Controlled chaos. Charles Sims had a nice run when he wasn't juking. He ran straight downhill and no juking around, and he caught a touchdown pass. You got people out in space, and you're starting to use players where they're good at. I have to give Coach. I've been beating up Cutter on that, but he did. I saw Sunday he tried to use different plays, misdirection plays, getting people open. That's the stuff you got to do. It's really simple. Crossing routes. Try to get people in open space. If they just can't beat the guy in front of them, then that's on them. That's not on you as a coach. You put the guy in position to beat somebody, and he couldn't come through with it. That is not on you. And I'll give Cutter credit for the run game. He really tried to establish. He really went in the playbook and tried to find different run plays that'll work. And let's keep that going. Get the linemen moving instead of sitting in the box trying to zone block when we can't do it. Get them out in space and plow guys down in the open field. Donovan Smith needs some help. Maybe he needs to go to right tackle, guard. I don't know what it is, but I see him miss a lot of blocks. You're supposed to, combination blocks. What I mean by combination blocks, when you pass on, there was a run play that linebacker got unblocked. What happened was you have the inside man. Bear with me, I'm trying to paint the best picture for you. I'm the tackle right here, and I'm the left tackle. So on my left-hand side is outside the sideline, and I have a linebacker here. And then you have a defensive lineman in front of you. Now what you're supposed to do, you have to come up to that next level where that linebacker is, seal that block, you have to secure while you slide and then come down and pick up the outside linebacker. And because yes, he has bad feet, because what happened on the play is the guy that was head up with the guard on that play, which I believe was Dietrich Smith, got him. That gets so much push on our O line, he has no chance to get off of that, to disengage from that block, to get to the outside linebacker. Instead, Donovan Smith didn't secure that block first, and then because he went out to block the corner, and then left the outside linebacker free because Dietrich Smith, I keep saying that, Dietrich Smith couldn't get to the outside guy, if that makes sense. It's an interchange of parts. You have to pass down the guy to move on to the next guy. And what happened was, as Donovan Smith moved down to the next guy, nobody secured the guy that was in front of him. And result, Doug Martin got blown up for a yard loss or no gain. And it's really simple stuff like that. It's not all the running back. You have to understand, when there's defensive linemen and linebackers, me in the back in the hole, that's not the running back, guys. That's not the running back. Now it's the running back when you have running lanes and he's getting tripped up by arm tackles and he's running to the back of his own lineman. That's on him. I just don't know what's going on. No back is running well, so I have to credit that to a bad offensive line play. And everybody wants Saquon Barkley here. What is he going to run behind? These guys? If you're going to draft a running back with a first pick and we have a terrible defensive line, granted we got 6 sacks this game, so we finally get into the double digit. Congratulations, Tampa Bay. You made it to the double-digit sack category in team sacks. And then Adrian Claiborne, he should have still been here. Hard to say, Kareem. It's hard to say. When you don't know that the hole is going to be there, you can't explode into anything but the back to your offensive lineman. So I really don't like to get into those things, trying to say somebody doesn't have anything anymore, because Doug's injuries weren't to his, if I remember, I think one was his ankle, maybe. I wasn't anything to his knee, and the other one was his shoulder. So I'm not sure if that actually affected his explosion or anything. But it's just what it was. It's there's no running lanes, man. And then you watch when you see Dallas, and when Zeke runs behind his line, you can actually see holes to run through. So it's a trust issue. Again, these are, let me clarify. When I say a lot of these things on here, a lot of it's the way I see things, the way I know that players think, the way that I know how certain things play in the game. Some people just call it at face value. This is just me personally. You can't explode into something when it's not there. Let me rephrase that in a better way. You can't explode through a hole in a running lane when there's no hole to run through. And then instead of exploding where the hole is or it's going to open up, I said, now you're running and you're looking for somewhere to go. Is it the cutback lane? Because it's not where I'm supposed to go. There's nothing there. There's a guy there waiting for me, but now I have to come back the other way. And that's just what it's been. I don't know if you want to call it a trust issue or he's just reading what's taken to give it to him. The fact of the matter is we can't run the game, run the ball. There's no lanes. I mean, you can watch the tape. I got the coach's cam on there. There's no run lanes, man. And it's just none. And you know what Doug looks like when there's some run holes to run through. And like New England, in the New England game, there was holes to run through, and look at the result. He was getting big run. There's no holes to run through. Everything usually has to come off tackle. If we can get that there, seal the edge, or make a guy miss, or a guy over pursues, and then teams are gearing to stop us running, to force our quarterbacks to throw, and then pass rush and sack us for 6 times in a game. That's just what's been everybody's game plan every week against us. And we have to, man, at some point you gotta establish a run game, man. We're 28th in the league in rushing. This is pitiful. This is pitiful. I mean, total on the game between 5 people that carried the ball in the game. You totaled 31 carries total and 90 yards between all 5 of them. That's bad, man. You couldn't get a football field of rushing yards. Like Fitzpatrick, 17 for 34, 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. The INT came after we just got an interception from Brent Grimes and ran it back. McCown went 23 for 39, 262 yards, touchdown, and an INT. He was sacked 6 times for 43 yards. Patrick was sacked once for 6. There's really not much to this game. Otherwise, then I'm glad ASJ didn't get a win, get a touchdown. I was really done with him. Let me say, I was upset with a lot of things the Buccaneers did. Like, a lot of them still kind of upset about the whole way they did Lovie Smith. You firing a man, not even calling him in. You call him on the phone to fire him. And he's been nothing but supportive of this team from day one and trying to build us, putting his heart and soul and work in here. You cut a guy like that because you fire a guy like that because you want to keep somebody else, offensive coordinator, that you're afraid to lose to the Eagles. I know it's business, but you know it's frustrating sometimes when everybody's trying to do the right thing. But what I'm about to say is some of the moves that happened. You know, I wasn't upset when they got rid of Austin Seferian-Jenkins. You're out pissed, poor, drunk, and get picked up for a DUI 2 hours before you're supposed to go to practice. It's just unexcusable. You got kicked out of practice for being intoxicated. Jameis Winston has to yell at you and tell you to run because you're jogging in practice. You openly admit that you didn't want to be there, but yet you have the audacity to say that we were wrong for giving up on you. They aren't your mother. This is a job. I'm not here to hold your hand. You're a grown man. You said that yourself on your Twitter page when you threatened to fight Bucs fans in the parking lot because they were upset with your lack of effort. That's what lack of effort looks like, guys. So when you try to say Gerald McCoy is in that category or Jameis Winston's in that category, don't do that to them. That's what they have. That's what lack of effort looks like. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Don't put people in that category unless they deserve it. And the other one is Adrian Claiborne goes off and has 6 sacks. Now, I was saying this earlier. Sometimes we give up on players too soon. Michael Johnson, I think we gave up on him too soon. He didn't really do too much. We paid him a lot of money. He had an ankle injury all season, and he played through it. It's hard to be productive sacker if you have an ankle injury. You can't explode. If you're talking about explosion, Kareem, you can't with an ankle injury. I think the next season, if he doesn't do anything, then we talk about that. Then you keep Adrian Claiborne. Then you add Noah Spence. What if we would have kept Michael Bennett? Then you should have a decent D-line here. You got some players in here, but I think we need to stop. If you're trying to build through the draft, then stop getting rid of draft picks and relying on undrafted players and trying to get chicken salad out of chicken poo. I'm not trying to use the other word, but that's what a lot of it's going on here. I felt good with the energy in the stadium. Fans were supportive of the players in the game, and mostly because we were winning most of the game, so I guess it would have changed, and they got what they wanted, Fitzpatrick, and you saw grass wasn't greener on the other side. It's not just the quarterback that's the problem here, and I'm glad everybody got to see that, not just Jameis Winston. Kareem, now we're going to try to get you in here. I wanted to say Mac and Lee. I met some friends 2 years ago. I'll post them on there. They're on my Instagram, Bucnblakesports, and Buck and Blake and Twitter, and I put them on my website bucnblakesports.com. Met them 2 years ago. They sat next to me at 147. They were from New Jersey, and they're Eagles. Well, his girlfriend, Mac's girlfriend, is an Eagle fan, but she supports the Buccaneers because her boyfriend likes them, and Mac is a Buck fan in Jersey, which you're not gonna get much of them. You'll get Eagles fans and stuff like that. And 2 years later, they sit in the same spots again, and I get to see them again. And I guess I call it divine intervention. You get to see good people twice. So they go back to Jersey tomorrow. I'm gonna take them out for lunch, and we hung out at the tailgate. They met a lot of my friends. It was a great experience, man. And all right, Kareem, I'm about to do this here in a second. It was a great experience seeing them. And I think you just need to take things in life and don't take them for granted and enjoy the moments that you have with anybody, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. I got some personal struggles going on with that. My father, but I'm not gonna go into that. But let me try to get Kareem in here. Hold on, Kareem. So let me. Now we're waiting on you. I said I'm not going to waste too much of your time.
Hey,
There he
what's up, bro?
is. There he is. And they're working, I see. No days off,
No
right?
days off.
What's going on there?
Not much, man.
Army Strong in the house, man.
No, I'm at work. As you can see, I'm a I'm a mechanic for a landscaping company. I did my military career for about 8.5 years, and then I got out. It was nice while I was in. I got in it while I was in high school, and I enjoyed it. Got a lot of good friends, and I'm glad that I met them people.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the people that come in your life, whether good or bad. You
Yes,
learn
sir.
from them, and some of them stick with you. Yeah. So what was the reason? So what's the reason why you went into the military? Why did you choose the army?
Well, when you
What was the reason you chose?
Well, when I was like 17 and I was in high school, I wasn't playing no sports my senior year in high school. So I wanted to I wanted to find a different way that I can better myself without getting into trouble. Military was right there, easy to walk to since we had recruiters in our school looking for people to get into the military. Shoot, I tried to put some of my friends on, and I did, and some of them went in, and some of them still in.
That's all you can do is try to want the best for yourself and want the best for your friends. So you want is the best for yourself and best for your friends. All you can do is put it out there. Now, whether they go to the water and drink, that's a whole other thing.
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Well, you kind of low a little bit.
Low a
Yeah,
little bit. Is
yeah,
that
that's
better?
cool. I can hear you.
All right, cool. I said all you can do is want the best for yourself and want the best for the people that you care about and you love. You want to try to bring them along with you to enjoy and experience what you're experiencing. That's all you can try to do is point them in the right direction. And whether or not they follow it, that's on them.
Hey, for real, I only hang with leaders, bro. All of my friends still handling their business, and I love it. I push them in
That's
the
what's
right
up, man.
direction, and they still going in the right direction. Ain't no changing up.
That's right. There's no off tracking. No going off. No
No,
veering
sir.
off. So what's your take? What's your take on the season so far? We got the win yesterday. The team looked like it was falling apart. Do we try to, coast in for the draft, or you want to keep on winning, see where it takes us? Deshaun Jackson went 7-0 right now. You with him on
I'm
that?
with them. I'm with them, bro. Cause being a fan, being a Bucs fan, you get used to losing. A lot of people get used to that. A lot of people want to see things happen fast, and it's not gonna go that fast. You always want to win. You don't want to wait
Correct.
until you don't want to lose games just to pick up a person in the draft. These are the kind of seasons where you find out the kind of person that you really is on the inside. These guys need to go through this struggle to see where they really are. Man, I hope they hit a turning point after winning that game, bro. I really did. I went to the game yesterday. I enjoyed it like a motherfucker. It was very nice, and watching it, my take from it, our O line played horrible on the run. They played okay on the pass. Donovan Smith,